Well, it's the second week of LCS. Echo Fox has just won against Optic. Why you're laughing at the idea?
It was like they just won barely.
No. That's how I did the 100T interview with probably a second ago.
Okay.
That was how that one went. I was like, they won finally, and by the way, it still wasn't that great. Anyway, coverage brought to you by Alienware. We want to shout them out at the start of this interview. But Apollo, how are things going on Echo Fox? I feel like people had pretty low expectations for this team, and the team seems to be surpassing them.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of weird because it's like, it's a week 2, and we're like, oh my god, Echo Fox have 2 wins already? That's crazy. And I mean, to me, I never really felt like we're going to start off 0-4, or even 1-3. I had the expectation of going like 3 or 2 wins,
Yeah.
We're doing well. I really like all our team, all the team members. I've played with Colin and Nick before, played with Rush before. Phoenix is really funny and super good at the game. Everything, like, the atmosphere is just really good. I've been on a lot of teams. I've been on a lot of losing teams. I mean, this is nowhere near as bad as an atmosphere as it could be.
Right.
So everything's just good.
We were talking before this interview. You were saying that Echo Fox, because I don't know if people know this yet, Echo Fox is also doing the apartment and office setup.
Yeah. A lot of the teams are doing that right now. I can't name all of them, but yeah, most of the teams are doing that. And it's interesting. It's like, it's new. I mean, I'm 24. I should probably have done this by now, right? To have my own apartment, but it's new to me. It's fun though. I mean, I don't really spend too much time in the apartment anyways. I'm most of the time at the office, but it's nice, just like going back from work, just like a normal dude.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's fun, but there's pros and cons to it. I have to cook my own food sometimes, or like do things myself. I don't have maids. Like, I don't know how people live like that, but
all those things are still acquirable. Like, you could get a maid.
Yeah, I could. And I feel like if I did that, I've really stooped down pretty low.
What? There's a lot of people that have maids.
I know, but
A lot of people have maids, Apollo. A lot of people that live with a caster. The two of them have decided once a month maybe it's nice to have somebody come in and clean up.
I've learned that you also pay people.
No, we're not. We're not talking about the other thing. That's an off-camera conversation. But we can talk about Postmates, which is also, Grubhub, whatever.
I use Postmates all the time. I'm not gonna lie. Yeah.
So then you don't have to cook for yourself, and you don't have to clean up.
I do want to cook for myself. Like, it's a thing that I'd want to learn. Maybe in a couple 5 to 10 years.
When I was 24, yeah, exactly. When I was 24, I was like, yeah. There were so many things where I was like, I'm just gonna do that, but not now. Later.
Later. Like, for sure, I'll learn it.
Yes. And then now that I'm about to turn 30, I'm like, I just think that's never gonna happen.
It's a 40s thing.
Finding a wife, having kids, all that stuff. That's for tomorrow's Travis. Yeah, it's always for tomorrow's Travis.
Poor future Travis is gonna have a rough one.
Yeah. I'm sending a lot of stuff his way. Debt, emotional baggage. Anyway.
Okay.
There's really loud music playing right now.
Oh yeah.
They can't hear that, I'm sure, but there's like some sort of like crazy loud, and we're in a soundstage, so the fact that it's coming through here, I think, means it's like blasting. I don't know what's going on. Anyway, so you guys are adjusting to apartment living. Are all the other players adjusting to it okay, you think?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, I haven't heard anything bad. I think Rush is like, he's slowly, gradually getting there. He's kind of a kid, so even though he's my age, I think. But, he's working on it, and Phoenix is helping him a lot too.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's weird. It's funny to me that Phoenix is helping Rush be an adult.
Yeah,
that's the blind leading the blind, in my opinion.
We're just going to go with it.
It's a tough year. Actually, with so many teams switching to this model, I wouldn't be surprised if LCS just like tanks this year internationally, because all these players are like, I have to be a human being and a pro player now.
It's so hard. And like, I was streaming and people like saw my room and they were just so disappointed, just like, it's like a lamp or a nightstand / lamp, my bed.
I thought you were gonna say like it was messy, because what a lot of people don't know, it's like this is a streamer thing where like you go every time you go to a streamer's bedroom, there's just like a path. Everywhere the webcam touches is clean, and then everything else is just shifted off to the sides.
I wasn't gonna say that because it's true, but I'm not gonna like reveal the secret of the streamers.
Yeah. But it's for you. There's not much going on in your room.
Yeah, there's really not much going on.
You should get some stuff.
I know. I want to. I want to, but I don't want to spend money, and I don't care enough. So there's like a huge problem in that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I'll talk to not to plug them, but there's a company called Displate that offered me some free stuff for my walls.
Oh, really?
So I'll talk to them and
Okay.
see if they
Yeah,
can.
yeah.
Yeah, shout out to them.
Display?
Yeah, it's DISPLATE. I should have a referral link if I miss it.
Okay, I got it.
This was not planned, by the way. It's just like actually.
Good job, Travis.
I didn't know. I like U.GG, Alienware. Those are the folks that give me money.
Yeah.
Displate doesn't, but I do appreciate the free posters, and I think maybe you would appreciate them too. Does Echo Fox make posters? Do you know?
They probably do. You can probably find them on our store, echofoxstore.gg.
Because you could. I was gonna say you could see if you could get some free posters, some Echo Fox posters.
Ooh. Or I can like hang up like merchandise on the walls.
That's true.
That's actually a really good idea.
Yeah.
I'll work on
Get
that.
it for free. The problem is pro players I don't think are really good at like figuring out how to. You would just like thumbtack in a T-shirt, right?
I see a lot of like rooms, like they're just designed like aesthetically, like they're just really nice. But I feel like if I try to do that myself, it's just like a complete disaster. Like the color tones are off.
Have you been to the? I think it's called Male Living Space subreddit or Male
I
Living
have.
Space.
I saw that.
Yeah.
I also yeah.
I subscribe to that one. That's really it's very aspirational. It's great stuff in there. I never will ever have a room that looks as cool as those, but yeah.
I mean same here. So
Kobe and I have been trying to find some stuff for a while for our place.
I think you need to find someone to like help you,
Yeah.
right? Like that's what I need to do.
That's actually what I do in all things in my life. Whether it's like I don't know how to make food, so Postmates exists, or I don't know how to clean, so it's like there's just always somebody there that can help me.
Yeah, they'll just be better than you at that. Yeah.
Don't know how to deal with a breakup, friend helps me. There's just so many things. Let's talk about League of Legends.
Yeah.
So League of Legends exists, and it's a game made by Riot Games, and you compete in it.
Yeah.
And how do you think you're doing this year compared to past years? Is this the best version of Apollo?
This is week 2, so we're not even near like.
But that implies that it's like a blank slate every year. Like, as if January 1st rolls around, you're like, oh, I'm back to being a primordial pro player,
All right, I get it. I get your question. I think I'm doing well. I mean, a lot of it's just the team game, Like, if the team's doing well or if you feel confident and comfortable with the team, then I think you should be able to do well. It's just like, it kind of adds on to it. I've been playing for too long for me to not do well, right? So if my team is doing well and they support me, they got my back, then, I'm going to do well. And I have been doing well, so.
Okay. So it's all about the team that's around you.
Yes.
Okay. This implies you're now giving more credibility to all the people that, like, there are a lot of people that say X player is amazing, and then people say, well, he hasn't done very well for quite some time, and they're like, it's just his team's fault. And
I mean, it's adjustable. It depends, but I think for the most part, like you're gonna look a lot better when your team is doing well, and like maybe if your team isn't doing well, it's like they have like full confidence, so they put resources into you, and et cetera, or like even like in practice, like if they like trust you to do things, like that's just gonna give you more confidence.
Yeah. What do you think of the flex pick meta that's going on right now?
It's good. I mean, like, I think it's interesting, especially since you see a lot more champions coming out. It kind of depends, right? Like, sometimes you kind of just see the same champions, like Aatrox, Urgot, Akali, Lissandra, all that stuff.
That's so funny you said it, because I think I was interviewing Jensen yesterday. I forget who it was I was interviewing, and they were basically like, well, it's just because there's a bunch of OP champions, so you could just put those OP champions anywhere and they'll win because they're OP.
It's not really much about flexing. It's more like, let's just try to pick as many OP champions as possible, and if you can play in that role, if you can play that in your lane, good. So yeah, it is more about the OPs, but regardless of that, I mean, you definitely see a little bit more like picks, and like the drafting is like really important right now, as you can see. You can just lose a game off of draft. I think this game I felt super confident with the game versus Optic. I felt super confident with our draft because it just looked on paper that it was better, right? Yeah. And whether or not they believe that or people believe that, just already if I'm already feeling confident because of our draft is better, that's like that's huge.
Puts you in a good place.
Yeah.
And then one of the other things that a couple of the players have been telling me is that they feel like a lot of the teams don't do anything in LCS right now. Specifically, like you get into a game and a lot of teams aren't proactive or aren't making like the big plays or the decisions that they need to. I don't know if you feel this way at all when you're watching any of these games or in them.
Yeah, it really depends on the team. I agree. I mean, also comes down to draft sometimes too. Like even like what I was just saying, like if you're not even confident in your draft, then maybe it's hard for you to make plays like confidently, right? It really is just about like who's willing to like make that step. Like even if it looks like, even if it's not the correct one, and they still do it, in my mind that's probably better than not doing anything at all. And that's what we at least like we try to do that as a team. Like we try to be as proactive as possible because we know like that's just like the better way to play, and you're gonna have a higher percent chance of winning.
Yeah. I were in my interview with you a couple weeks ago. Were you one of the people that said that you thought Golden Guardians was an interesting team? I feel like we talked about that.
We might have talked about it. Actually, I don't remember talking about Golden Guardians too much.
Maybe not.
Okay.
Well, regardless, what do you think is there? I ask you this just because the game beforehand was 100T Golden Guardians. What do you think is holding them back, or do you think that they were overhyped? Because a lot of people thought that they were going to be like a. Some people were ranking them higher than Echo Fox in their preseason
a lot of
stuff.
People, I think. Yeah. Well. Sell your Golden Guardian stock.
It's a little late for that. I think I have to just hold on to what's left of it, right?
I don't know. Well, first off, I really didn't think it was gonna do like as well as people thought. And that's, it's not really to. I don't want to like shit on them or anything. It's just like I didn't think it was like some superstar roster. I don't think ours is either, but I was just kind of weird that we were like ranked so lowly compared to them. That being said, I don't really know their problems. They are one of those teams that doesn't feel like they're doing anything, and whether that's player skill or teamwork, like I don't really know what's going on, and I don't want to like make any assumptions, but I mean you can clearly see from their games that they don't really do anything, and we played them too, and it just felt like, slowly just losing, and even like when they made plays, I guess it either wasn't enough or it didn't work. Yeah. Maybe the Rise play specifically.
I mean, yeah, there are some strange things that are happening in their games. Yeah. I guess that's about it for me. Is there anything that you want to say to any of the fans out there?
Yes. Thank you guys for the support. We're trying our best. I think there's a lot of people that kind of doubted us, so I'm really happy that I guess we're doing better than people's expectations, and yeah, we'll see you guys next week.
Thank you so much for the interview. For everyone else, you can check out the rest of my coverage of all things esports right here on my YouTube channel. Hello. You just watched that interview, and you might be wondering, why is it that that interview did not look as good as it possibly could? You're thinking there, you're sitting there, you're looking at your old beat-up laptop, your monitor that's falling apart, the LCD screen's just like, it's hanging out. You're like, how can I keep watching this amazing content with such subpar hardware? Go check out the link in the description and get some Alienware stuff. They sponsor me. They sponsor the LCS. The pro players are gaming on it here. Everything will look better. These interviews will look better. And really, that's what it's about, right? It's like you could get the sick graphics that you want in your games, but really what you want is just a nice, polished, color-accurate, high-response way to watch these interviews at incredibly high refresh rates. That's actually what it's about. Go check out the link in the description, Dell.com/Travis, and you can do that. Thanks so much for watching this interview.